Hello, FlossTube. It's me again. Actually, at the beginning of the month. Yay. So I have some haul. I have some FFOs. Yay. And some whips. So let's start with the um, FFO. So I made something for my mom. Very befitting. And here it is. I framed it myself. Oops, got a little bit of glare there. Hopefully I can get the glare out. I mean, it's very simple, and I bought the frame at Michael's. I think I paid like maybe, I don't know, $7 or $8. It was in that area where they have a lot of frames on sale. So, fully finished object. Um, I do want to show everyone. Last video I showed you where I was with the eagle, which there wasn't much left for me to finish. So right now I have him all wrapped up and ready to go. He's going to be going to the finishers, actually to the framers. I have a coupon. But I just wanted to show you guys what he looks like, fully finished. So here he is. Ta-da! He's a little bit rolled up, so that's why he's kind of doing that kind of thing, because I had him rolled up. So if he cooperates a little bit, maybe I could just bend it over. So as you can see, the decorative stitches are in the middle, are pretty much all around here. So the eagle has all of the decorative stitches. Everything else on the outside is basically basket weave, with the exception of the stars, which I did in it's an accent filament, but I used 4 strands at one time, so it kind of, gave him, there we go, gave him a little bit of that bumpy kind of look. So let me see if you can see it a little bit better. See how you can see, I'm always going to the wrong side. You can see this here, how it all comes from each corner into the center. So it has a little bit of a bump, a little raise. You also can see that it's a different style stitch. I did do that here for the talons, well, for his little feet as well as his nails. But yep, he's all ready to go, and whoop, there we go. So I will be taking him this coming week after the holiday. He'll be going to the framers. All I have left is to put in my initials, and that's pretty much it. And he's going to be on his way. Okay, whips. So here's the stocking. This is one of my oldest son's stocking. So I'm doing his, and I'm going to do my youngest son's. But I'm doing his. Oh, and I didn't bring fabric, as usual. I'm sorry, I'm going to be not very well prepared. Well, let's try and see if I can do this. You can just look at my shirt. So here it is. This is the top, what is it, right-hand corner. Basically all dark, but I've already finished the moon. And it's going to look really nice. What I'm contemplating on doing is these flames right here, to either using Kreinik or an accent filament, something that's going to let it sparkle, because it's fire, it's holiday fire. And I do have some threads that are vibrant, but I want to have it a little bit more of a kick. So I may be looking at doing that. Okay, haul. Well, again, I don't have my little black thing here. So if you guys excuse me for a second, I'll be right back. Okay, that wasn't too much. So here we go. I love this one. Here's the zebra. It is called Cool Drink. And I really like, see, from Purple Palm. It's has the picture doesn't really do it justice. I mean, the colors are amazing, and you can see how his mouth is under the water. Wait till you see the threads. These are awesome. So I purchased this particular canvas through Ritter in Pennsylvania, and I asked for them to kind of make some suggestions on threads, but that I wanted to basically keep I wanted the water to sparkle, to have that reflection when you go to a river or something like that, you see the water sparkling. Check out what they sent me. Okay, so these are silk lame braids. look at these yummy colors. Let me see if I can, again, I'm sorry, I gotta glare. So I have these beautiful colors for the water. So that area around his face that you saw, all of these colors are going to fit in to add that sparkle. And this is actually a lot lighter than what it's showing. There we go. It's a little bit more natural. And there's this guy, green. This is a very light blue. Looks darker on the TV, on the monitor. Oh, there we go. And this is a little lighter than that purple. But those colors are basically around this area. So if you could see around here, it'll go all the way up that way. Now the background that he has here, in this area here, this background, let me put this so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so this background here is going to have a decorative stitch. I haven't decided which one yet, but I want to give it some element of sky. They've also provided me with threads from Pepper Pot Silk. I think I've shown these to you guys before. These are the pepper pots. So very nice, and they're very soft, very vibrant colors. Got a black. And pretty much the other ones are all my silks. But these colors are going to look so nice together. I mean, if you can see this array of colors, they're going to, I have a couple of the same style. Let me see here. Whoops. So these are all the silks. And they actually are very, very vibrant. So that particular zebra I'm looking forward to. And I may kind of squeeze that guy in between the two stockings. And so I have been talking and talking and talking about doing a cross stitch pattern. I don't know if you've heard some of my previous videos. I cross stitched for about 20 years. And then I stopped because my eyes got a little bit, I was getting headaches as I was cross stitching. So I basically switched over to doing the needlepoint, which I have no headaches whatsoever. But I've seen some of the beautiful designs that everybody has done, especially Carolyn Mazio. Hi, Carolyn, miss ya. And it kind of inspired me to give it a try. You've also done some awesome recommendations, better lighting, have a magnifier. I purchased from Orietta. Hi, Orietta. She showed some of those quantum frames. Because the other ones you can never get. So I ordered some of those, which is what I'm using to stitch some of my other canvases. And I figured, you know what the hell, give it a crack. So I have decided on a memorabilia. I don't think I've ever stitched a mirabilia, not memorabilia, though, a mirabilia. And basically, the reason I picked this particular one is I really like the design. I think it's just awesome. And I believe Carolyn has stitched this. Now, I know that a lot of you stitch on a smaller count, like 32 or 28 or something like that. I really can't, I don't want to do that with this first piece because I want to make sure that my eyes are comfortable. So it is going to be a little bit larger than what it's supposed to be. But I've got the fabric. I purchased pretty much everything from 1-2-3 Stitch. And I've got, I got the fabric from 1-2-3 Stitch. It's a 14 count Herald. And unfortunately, the only size they had was 26 by 35, which is huge. I don't really need it. But here's the fabric. And I like it because it's got that greenish color. It's not as dark as what it calls for, but I like the dyed effect on it. And I think that the colors are going to look really well on this particular fabric. So this is my fabric. And the pattern is, ta-da! Let me just put some of that. This is my pattern. It's Mermaid of Atlantis. I mean, I know you guys have seen this before, so it's something that you have seen. I also have seen people who have stitched a moon here instead of that design. I'm not that brave yet, so I'm basically just going to stitch the way it says here. Um, so that I'm going to be starting this. I've got all of the beads and the Krenix and all of the flosses that calls for the pattern. A lot of DMC, water lily, basically DMC and water lily. Those are the two types of threads. I have not stitched in a DMC in quite some time, but I'm looking forward to it. So she's all kitted, ready to go. I think I'm missing two one of the Krenix. On the pattern, it was mistyped. It said 3328, and it's actually a 3228. And there was a substitute for one of the Mill Hill beads. So I ordered those. And this is going to go into rotation this coming week. After the holiday, I'm going to get her all set up and put away. But one thing I wanted to ask is, do you guys wash your fabric? I may go and look at some of the previous videos, but it almost seems to me, I'm not sure, if you wash your fabric before you start stitching on it. I never washed fabric, so I don't know. I will be using one of my scroll frames for it. I don't have any Q-snaps. I never really liked those things anyway. I'm not crazy about Q-snaps. So let me see. Was there anything else that I was going to tell you? No, that was pretty much it. I loved Orietta's video about the factory, the quantum frame factories. That was actually pretty cool to see where everything is made. So that was pretty nice. Yeah, and that's pretty much, it for me. I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of, doing the needle point, what have you. I did take my little mini course on the using designer stitches and how to incorporate them into a canvas. So that zebra is going to be my first try and see how it goes. And other than that, it's pretty much stitching as usual. It's, the warmth here is going to start going away. It's raining a little bit more often, a little bit more than what it normally would be at this time. So fall is in the air. So here in the next couple of weeks, we'll be winterizing the house and the pond and the woods and everything else. Well, not the woods, but, stuff in the yard. Anyway, I am, oh, yes, I was going to answer Orietta's tag about what do you take with you. I don't have the questions in front of me, which is very, that was bad of me. But I have a general idea of what you asked. So I'm going to answer Orietta's tag. Normally what I take with me, and don't have one here, is one of my small needlepoint, actually, let me see if I can go pick it up. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. I am going to answer, like I said before, Orietta's tag about traveling. So normally it depends on where I'm going, but for the most part, I always have a small pattern that I take with me. It's nothing glamorous, I will tell you that right now. So I normally carry it in like a big Ziploc bag. So for example, I have this particular pattern right here. I've been working on it. Let me see. Everything's going everywhere. I've been working on this pattern for a little over a year, I think, and it's strictly for when I'm out somewhere, doctor's appointments or what have you. So I've got pretty much the background. I'm doing some of the branches that look like there's a little sparkle, like snow has fallen on it, and Mr. Bunny Rabbit over here is going to be very furry. But I take the pattern. I usually will clip a piece of fabric on it, and mainly because that's where I put my needle. I've taken needle minders before, but I lose them. And I can never find them. It's like this little gremlin somewhere is taking my needle minders. So I got tired of spending my money and losing my needle minders. So I just staple a piece of fabric, any piece of fabric, and I just put the needle right in it, and that's where it stays. The other items that I take with me is a spare glasses. These are very cool. They're actually, I got them at store number 24 or something like that. It was a dollar store. With this little case. It's kind of neat, but it's, it works. that particular mesh is about 14 counts, so it's not too small. Spare needles, and I always put them, you know, right in here. Again, it's a little piece of, that glare, it's a little piece of fabric, and then I put needles on it. I have a thread cutter. Okay, so sometimes when I travel, you're not allowed to take scissors, or at least I'm paranoid about taking scissors. So I found this thread cutter, and if you can see, I'm going to try to put it here as best as I can. If you can see right in there, there's just a hint of something in the middle at the base. That is like a little razor. It's not extremely sharp, but you know, I've never tried to cut my finger with it, but it works really well with cutting threads when I'm traveling. It's got a little fob that came with it. It actually works out pretty well because I know that if there's anything stringy, that's what I'm looking for. And then I take a threader. This is the threader that I take with me. Oops, it goes like that. That's the thread I take with me. And I put these guys pretty much in this little bag, and it always stays there. I basically don't take it out of this little bag. Just this little, I think I got this for $2.99. It's a Vera Bradley. They have an outlet store here, and I guess this pattern was discontinued and have all these little bags for really cheap. So I had this little cheap guy. And then I'll put, like with this guy, I've got all the threads that go with it. I just, you know, put everything in this little zippy bag. And for the most part, I take more than one project. So that's that one I'm almost done with. So again, big bags. I could use something else, but I don't know. It's just traveling. This is the next one that I'm going to work on, again, when I travel. These are canvases with silk threads. For the most part, if I don't take either one of these two, I will have one of the Elizabeth Bradley designs, which are a much larger mesh, and it's also an easy one to take. And as soon as I put this out of the way, I will show you which one I'm talking about. So I think you guys have seen me. I did a demonstration video, but these are with wool, with English wool. So here's the wool, which is pretty easy because you just put it in a knot and just throw it in the bag. And then this is the pattern itself. So this one's pretty simple. You just follow, you know, the design itself. And this one's got a lot of dark, you know, see that little pattern it has in the background. I'm working on this one. Well, not yet, but it's one of the ones that I take with me if I don't take the silks. And this is the other one that I believe you guys have seen me work on, which, again, zippy bag. With this one, though, I found this, and I don't remember exactly where I found it, but I found this organizer for the threads. And the biggest problem is that wool is kind of thick, obviously. So some of those thread organizers don't really work because they're too small. They're mainly designed for DMCs or silks or what have you. This guy has nice big holes. Look, right over there. And when I'm traveling, I sometimes put here the magnet. You know, it's kind of hard pointing. I was pointing in the wrong direction. Anyway, I put my magnet in this little spot right here, but I have all the threads organized that I'm using, which it's very helpful because it's easier to just pull it off and not have to dig through the bag. And this is the progress that I've made on this guy. Again, I do this strictly when I am traveling, or if I'm at a doctor's appointment, anywhere that I gotta sit for too long. Or sometimes if I'm tired of doing, you know, like the eagle or the stocking or something like that, I'll just grab one of these. I'll sit down, watch TV, and just, you know, brainlessly stitch. Because they're small and they're quick, like the one I did for my mom that says, you know, dinner's poured. I knocked that thing out in 2 days. I think it was 2 days. So, yeah. So I have a little bit more to go here and some of the blues and what have you. So these are the ones that I take. I don't think I've necessarily traveled with a cross stitch pattern. has basically been with the needlepoint patterns. I don't necessarily need any kind of magnifiers or anything like that. Again, these mesh counts are quite large, so the glasses that I take with me are more than sufficient. Again, I don't, if it's something domestic, like if I'm not traveling overseas, I will take my scissors, a regular pair of scissors. I think, let me see, actually, I have a little pair right here. I'll take one of these. I have a couple of these. I'll take one of these with me because nobody's going to arrest me if I take it on a plane. If I travel on a plane, then I will take the other thread cutter. I don't necessarily take laying tools. I try not to take any kind of a canvas that is complicated that would require a laying tool. As far as the, like I said, as far as the cross stitch, I haven't traveled with one of those, so I can't speak to that. I'm just, you know, in reference to what I've done. And I don't think I would take that mermaid anywhere in particular. So I try to take something with me, but it's small, easy. I can do it on a train, which I've done. I've done it on a bus. I've done it on an airplane. I've done it in the car, on a boat. Yeah, a long boat ride. I've done it on a boat. But for the most part, I won't stitch anywhere that the canvas is going to get or possibly get dirty or stained in any way. For the most part, I try to just, it's just to kill time. In the hotel room, I have done that a couple of times just, you know, to relax. It is very relaxing for me to stitch, so I try to do it as much as I can, as often as I can. Other than that, I don't take stretcher bars or anything else like that. These guys basically do them themselves to being able to just kind of fold it with one hand and then free stitch with the other. Granted, it is easier to do two-hand stitching if you have a stand and a frame. But these guys, it's you know, it's a small, simple kind of canvas to stitch. So I hope that helps. That's what I take with me, and it's worked out very well. I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years, and I always have something with me. I'm like the granny old lady with this bag, and it has all my stuff in it to include my stitching. And if I see a small canvas that I like that I can actually stitch by hand, I will purchase it. And it's basically because that goes in the queue. I always have something small and easy to carry that I can take with me. And then it's just a matter of I take this little bag from one project and I put it in the other project. That's pretty much it. And Trisha, the 3 owl your bags, nice job. I really like those bags. I may try to to snag one of them and use it for my travel. I can put everything in a nice little bag for travel. So that's pretty much it. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everyone who subscribed. I really appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to just give me a little note. Be happy to answer. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend. We are going up into the mountains where it's cooler than where it is now. So I hope everybody enjoys your long weekend with your family and friends. Keep on stitching. Thanks for watching. Bye.